What's up? This is Marco back again. Today I'm going to be talking about the Sunday games from match day 2 of the Premier League. So to start things off, we had Tottenham beat Southampton 5-2, and really good performance by Tottenham. They did get off to a slow start that led in an early goal, and their defense wasn't looking the best. It was a really harsh penalty for their second goal, though. But that being said, Kane and Son just were amazing today. 4 goals that were just Kane assisting Son, and then Kane hit one in by himself later. It was an amazing performance. They got one on counterattack right before halftime. That's the perfect time to score, and started the second half really strong and didn't look back. In addition, I think Lloris was having a really nice game. Good to see Leicester get in there, and obviously Spurs signed Bale, got him back, throw him in with Son and Kane, and this team is going to be very dangerous going forward. One thing I do want to say about Tottenham, this is a problem that I've noticed that I haven't really seen people talk about, and that's that they really don't switch on until they go down. Now, this is something I've noticed for a couple years, even going back to their Champions League run with Pochettino, but when they play, they're kind of pedestrian until they go down, and that's when they switch on and they start to do really well. It's a very weird thing that they do, and I really think that they might not be able to get to the next level until they're able to fix that. Hey, maybe Bale's the thing that'll do it, but it's still something I noticed I wanted to bring up. Now, for Southampton, they did have a much better start this week, and they were dominating the game before the goal. I think Kyle Walker-Peters, he was doing pretty well going forward. DeJampo, I thought he was looking good, and Ings was doing pretty well as well, but from the moment that Southampton got their first goal, things were looking pretty bad for them. Their defense was looking really poor. Bednarik and Stevens they weren't doing the greatest. I think that Seleção, he's going to have to come in and do really well for them. And honestly, Shea Adams, he needs to be better as well. He needs to get his finishing going and take some of that burden off of Ings. And also McCarthy could be better in net. For a man of the match, it's between Kane and Son, obviously, and I've said my rule before, if you get a hat trick, you're man of the match, so I have to go with Son. For the next game, Brighton beat Newcastle 3-0, and a lot of positives for Brighton. Lamptey continued to look good in that right wing back spot. He was able to draw them a penalty, and he was looking dangerous all day. Mupai, he was doing really well. He converted a pen. He had a really nice finish for their second goal and an assist later. Trossard, he continued to look good. He's been looking really well. Connolly, he's been doing amazing as well. And Basuma looked good again today, but pretty bad red card at the end. It's going to be tough for Brighton without him. Their defense was also doing pretty well. Having White and Dunk back there, I thought losing Duffy would make a bigger impact than it did, I guess. So for Newcastle, started things off pretty bad. St. Maximin had a dumb pen early on, and that's what I went back to in the preview. You've got players who shouldn't be in defensive roles defending. And I think that's what this goal came down to for St. Maximin, but hey, it happened, and then letting another goal. Again, their defense was not looking good. It's going to have to be fixed. They're going to have to get through that, and honestly, their attack couldn't get much going as well. I'm still not sold on Callum Wilson as the guy who's going to keep Newcastle up. I mean, he couldn't for Bournemouth. This is a more defensive team, and I'm not completely sold on him. So for the man of the match, it has to be a Brighton player, and I have to go with Mumpay. He was involved in all 3 goals, and he's had a really good start to this game. So for the next game, we had Liverpool beat Chelsea 2-0, and was probably the biggest game of the season so far. Their attack looked really good. Their first goal was just their front 3 combining. It was looking really good. Thiago had a really positive debut. The penalty aside, but I think people are going to forget about that because of the save by Alisson, and great work by Alisson today. And their defense was really strong, even with Fabinho playing at center back. He had a very good performance in the first half, and then Chelsea couldn't get much going in the second half. So for Chelsea, they got off to, it was pretty even at the start. I think the main positives were Werner was getting himself into good positions. He had a good combination with Havertz early on, and he did win the penalty later, and Conte was looking good. I still think he needs to be playing deeper, probably on a more counter-attacking team. he was looking pretty bad when he got the ball in the final third, but that's not his job, though, or it shouldn't be. Obviously this game changed with the bad red card by Christensen, and honestly, it probably would have been better for Chelsea if they would have let Mane score, which you don't even know if he would have. Well, he kept us back there, and he's still an issue, but even if Mane did score, it would have been better to just allow that, because it's tough to play against Liverpool with only 10 men, and it's a really lucky break for Liverpool. I mean, Chelsea away is probably up in the top 3 hardest games teams are going to have to deal with this year, and they just got a free pass for that, and you can't even take anything away from this game because pretty even first half. I'd say Liverpool was a bit better, but the second half, Liverpool were just able to dominate due to having more men, and it's disappointing. So for the man of the match, it's obviously got to be Mane. Got the goal. He was the one who drew the red card, and great performance by him. So for last game of the week, Leicester beat Burnley 4-2. A lot of goals this week, as you can see. So they start off pretty poorly with letting in a goal, but honestly, the defense isn't completely there, and DD's still at center back. Justin's still playing when he's probably going to be the backup this year, but he did get better as the game went on, though, but I still don't think he's that guy. And it was a really good game by their offense. Harvey Barnes, he had a great ball and finish on the first goal with really good work by Vardy as well. The second goal, Tielemans, he had a really good game. He had a perfect pass to Castagne, and Gagne had a decent ball in that was turned in for an unlucky own goal. And Perez did great work for the third goal, and Barnes was able to get an assist, knocked on to Justin, who really solidified that good game with that goal, and then Pratt had a screamer for the third one. It was a very good performance by Leicester's attack. Their defense wasn't the greatest, but you can't really hold that against them because their defense isn't complete yet. So for Burnley, Chris Wood had a really good goal to start the game, and their attack was looking good. I still like Jay Rodriguez, and when Vidra came on, he brought a lot of energy, but obviously they allowed him 4 goals, but again, can you hold that against them? I mean, they had an injury, Tarkowski and me are both missing, and honestly, yeah, they allowed 4 goals, but they were missing their defenders. It's a problem that will get fixed. You can't really hold that against them, and honestly, I thought they showed a lot of heart for a team that was dealing with injuries. Honestly, it was a good performance by both teams in my mind. If I'd pick a man of the match, it's a tough one. I'd probably go with Harvey Barnes again, the first guy to win 2 man of the matches for me this year. He had a really good goal. He's really creative. He was always a threat. He's had a very good start to the season. I'm very excited by him. So, last thing I want to say, we still haven't got a draw yet. If we're, 16 games into this Premier League season now? Still no draws. I don't believe it. It's crazy. And, also, Weston McKennie had a very good debut for Juventus. I was talking about that yesterday, and he was looking very good. It's still crazy to see an American playing with Ronaldo. That's just an awesome sight to see. Well, that's about all I have for today. I'll see you.